Hello and welcome back to American Truck Simulator. I'm davidinark. Oops, I'm going a little fast. We are going to head out. We're going to grab, I think it's a piece of road equipment or farming equipment. In either case, we're going to go grab that real quick, and then we're going to head off into the distance and deliver it where it needs to go. And I just thought it would be kind of fun to play American Truck Simulator. I haven't played in a while, and I haven't had a chance to just kind of sit and visit and talk about the kind of what I've been doing lately. So I thought that might be a fun way to do that. We're going to check the freight market, and we're going to take this bad boy right here, a lift truck. All right, so there we go. Let's grab that. We'll take this job. Yep, works for me. Yeah, I'm ready. Continue. And oh, there I am right there. Okay, so I got to turn around. Well, that's not convenient at all. Alright. No, I don't need to view the job. I'm trying to pull up my truck to the trailer here. Oh, there we go. Raising up the trailer legs, and we've got it. And now we can heavy haul ourselves right out of here. Awesome. There we go. Very cool. So, as those of you that have been following the channel for a while, as you know, I went on a vacation with the family. We cruised on up to, we flew. We didn't cruise. We flew up to Boston, and we have never been to Boston or up the East Coast before, so we thought it'd be fun to take some time and head up to Boston. And so we flew in, and once we got there, whoa, I got to take a dirt road? What is this? This is a little interesting. This is how I'm getting onto the highway? What's going on here? I don't know. I'm on a little one-lane road. That's interesting. Okay. And this is going to take a while. My truck is struggling under the weight of my load here. Wow. This is... I have never been anywhere like this before. Is this like a new thing in American Truck Simulator? You take these back roads? I don't know. That's... wow. Okay. Huh. Well, anyhow, we got to Boston, and we took a cab to our hotel. We had no idea. Of course, we flew in, so we were at the airport. We had all our bags and stuff. We didn't want to, be traipsing through the streets of... oh my gosh, that is heavy. Come on. Oh, my truck's gonna struggle in this trip, but it is what it is. I'm not sure I can make it up this hill. This will be great. But we didn't want to be, carrying our luggage just down the streets as we made our way to the hotel. So anyway, we grabbed a cab and got to the hotel, and then the first day, I can't remember what we did. We may have walked around a little bit, or we may have gone into town. I don't remember doing much on the first day, but the next day we actually went out and about. The hotel had a shuttle that would take us to would take us out to the airport bus depot, for lack of a better description, and we could grab the Silver Line, which is a bus route. We grabbed the Silver Line across the river and and then from there you can grab the red line tram, and then from there you connect wherever you need to connect. So we did that, and I think you go to South Station, I think is what it was called. And so we went there and found our way around and just kind of explored a little bit, and walked around, and whoops, did I hit something? Yikes. Just checking out the sights, and visiting several historic places in Boston. I don't know, it was interesting to see some of those, some of the sites that have been around since, the 1700s. I mean, that's kind of crazy to think about, man. How old some of these sites are. And so we did that, and spent some time walking around, and grabbing a bite to eat and that kind of stuff, just doing some of the, touristy sightseeing things. And so when we were coming back, we weren't sure where to catch the different lines. I can't remember what line we were on. I don't know. Anyway, we ended up back at the South Station, and then we got I think we were gonna get the Silver Line, but we called the hotel, and the hotel was like, no, don't do that. We'll just send a shuttle to the airport. So I think that time they got to the airport, we went to Silver Line. It's all muddy now. This is like the worst story ever. But anyway, so that first time, that's what we did there. Now, the day after that, we actually rented a car, and we went up the East Coast. So we left. Am I tired? Oh, crud, I'm way tired. I didn't realize that. Oh, boy, that's not good. But we rented a car, and we left Boston, and we started going up north along the coast, and going through all kinds of these just really quaint, cool little towns. And a lot of them had amazing, freaking huge houses, and many of the houses and little communities were kind of right there on the water's edge. And so we drove up, and we went through New Hampshire. In fact, we stopped at the crud, I can't remember what it's called now, but Hampton Beach. I think it's called Hampton Beach. We stopped there, and that's kind of a neat little community, at least from a tourist perspective. I could see where, if you were a full-time resident, you'd probably hate the fact that they've turned that entire area into a tourist trap. But lots of good food. Oh, hey, look, there's a rest area. Sweet, that's exactly what I need. So how does this work? I mean, it's a rest area. So how do I rest here? Oh. I don't know how this works. I know my trailer's doing weird stuff, but I'm just trying to figure out how to rest. It's not letting me rest. I don't know how to rest here. Do I have to back up some more? Oh, yep, there it is. Okay. That's a little weird. Ding. Okay. So now that we got my trailer all womper-jawed. But there we go. Oh, look at there. There's even restrooms. That's very cool. Huh. But we went up through into New Hampshire, and then we went up into Maine. We didn't go very far into Maine. We decided, I think our original plan was that we were going to try to go to, I can't, maybe Portland, something somewhere in there. But we decided to stop at Kenny Bunkport, and so we walked around Kenny Bunkport for a little while. That's a neat little community, and then we left there. And on the way back, we decided to go to the Nubble Lighthouse. So on the way to Nubble Lighthouse, we start some of the phones. It was my family, and then my mother-in-law was with us, and several of the phones started getting severe weather alerts for where we were driving. We're kind of looking around, like, oh, I don't really see anything. I don't know, maybe that's not really us, or whatever. Well, the closer we're getting to the Nubble Lighthouse, the darker the skies are getting. It starts to rain some. And so by the time we actually get to the lighthouse, which is actually down through this little community, and then you have to go out to this kind of jut that's just, I mean, it's, obviously right there, on the side of on the edge of the ocean. By the time we get there, the wind is blowing. It's storming, pouring down rain. Of course, we're here to see the lighthouse, so we're whoa, that was close. So we're here to see the lighthouse. So of course, we're like, we're going to get out of the car. And there were several other people that were there as well. We weren't the only folks there. But oh my gosh, we were getting blown all over the place. Oh, man. I'm not sure I can pull this off. Come on. There we go. And so we're up, and the way that the lighthouse itself actually sits out on its own separate little rocky, I guess it's an island technically. It's surrounded by water, and they have these ropes with this basket that I'm assuming that's how people get it across from where we were at the lookout point up to where they would actually be in the lighthouse. I mean, it was crazy. I can't imagine that would be the mode of transportation to get you from, like I said, this landing where we were up actually into where the lighthouse was, on this basket that you would have to lay in and kind of hand over hand. As you laid down, you'd hand over hand that basket along the rope. And I mean, holy cow, that would be just crazy. All right, I'm gonna put, I thought it was, is that not, no, huh, I thought, well, I don't remember the command for putting on both flashers. I don't remember I thought it was one of these. Oh well. I don't remember the command for putting on both my flashers. Is it equals? Minus? No. Okay, well, we're going to cruise along anyway here. And so we stayed at the lighthouse for a little while, and kind of weathered the storm for a bit, and then coming back, we didn't bother going down the coast the way we had come up. I just found my way to the interstate and just headed on south back to Boston. And then we got back into Boston and dropped off the rental car, so we're dropping off the rental car. Oops, I'm going a little fast. So we're dropping off the rental car, and I say something about no, I take that back. When we were going to go get the rental car in the morning, we stopped by the concierge, and we were like, hey, we need a shuttle to get to the airport for the car rental place. And the dude was like, no, the car rental place is that big orange building next to the hotel. We're like, what? So it turns out that they used to, I love this roadwork stuff. I mean, I really do. I hate it in real life, but it is so cool in the game that's something they incorporated. And cows. wow, the cows actually moved. Check that out. Um, so, so the guy at the desk is like, no, no, man, it's not even a block away. It's in the very next building. And they used to have the car rental places out at the airport, but several years ago, they consolidated all of the car rental places into this one car rental depot type area, which made it very easy to walk over there, get our car, and then when we came back, now coming back was a little weird because, we had just walked straight to there from the hotel, not really thinking about, how does the car get back in, but they make you go all the way out around, kind of through the outer edges of the airport, sorta, but they make you go out all the way around and then come into the parking area to drop off your car, which is also interesting because the drop off is not exactly in the same place. I mean, it's in the same building / garage, but it's in a different part of it from where you pick up your car. And so I don't know, that was pretty cool. So we did that and went back to our hotel and hung out for the evening and that kind of stuff. And then the next day we got up and rented the car, or took the rental car, and we went south. So we went from Boston down to Rhode Island and went to several little towns in Rhode Island, went to Providence, Rhode Island, and then cut across. We figured since, Rhode Island, you may or may not know, Rhode Island is the smallest state in the United States. I mean, very, very tiny. You can get across the entire state in, I don't know, what was it, like an hour and a half or something. And so we, like I said, we stopped at a couple of places in Rhode Island, and then we kind of just skirted into Connecticut because it was pretty much right there. And we also knew that there was a good chance, I mean, who knows when we're going to get back up into that area again, but while we're there, we already had a car, why not skirt up there into Connecticut? And so we stopped in, I can't remember the name of the town. We stopped in some little town just inside the border of Connecticut. It was called Killingly, something like that. And so we are coming in from the east heading west, and when we get there, we just go into town. We don't know anything, right? So we go in and we're in the downtown area, and it's a lot like a lot of small towns that are in the United States. I mean, heck, it reminded us a lot of our small town, except they actually have more stuff in Killingly than we have in our town. And so, but it's older buildings, and they have all these little kind of shops along the building. A whole bunch of the buildings were empty, and it was obvious they were trying to make an effort to help grow the area. And we're like, well, this is kind of a neat little town. So we leave there, and I get on the interstate, and my plan was to go kind of north and then cut across and come back east again to get back into Boston. Well, as we are heading up the interstate, there's like West Killingly and South Killingly, and these places they have all the shopping you could want to do, all the restaurants you could want to go to. It was so funny. We were just like, okay, wait a minute. Here we thought was this, tiny little town, this little downtown area, and it turns out that they've got, sprawl in terms of all kinds of retail and everything else that we didn't even realize was there. So it was just it's one of those things where, when you don't know an area, and we didn't really search so much about it, we just kind of drove around, looked around, that kind of thing. But that was a lot of fun, and in fact that didn't even take a whole day. Now the trip up the East Coast, up into Maine and back again, that pretty much took our whole day. And that was kind of intentional, but also because the route I took, we went up all these little twisty roads through all these tiny little towns. When we went the other direction down into Rhode Island and across into Connecticut and came back, that was just kind of a loop, and I think it was, I can bypass. Yeah, thanks. Um, so with that loop, I want to say we were gone 4 hours, maybe 5 hours at the most. I mean, it was not, we were not gone all day, or at least not as long as we thought we were going to be. So we ended up having extra time. So we came back and dropped off the vehicle, and we decided we were going to go visit some more stuff in Boston. And so we're at the front desk, and like, where are you wanting to go? And we're like, well, we're going to, we're going to have to go and grab the bus and go to the, we want to go tooling around Boston some. And the dude who drives the bus, he said, man, he said, if you walk through this park that's right across from the hotel, that is the airport terminal. That's the airport drop off for the train. So you could just grab the airport train and take the, whatever it was, blue line or green line. I think it's a blue line. He said you can take the blue line to wherever you need to go, and then you can change positions. We're like, wait a minute. Are you telling me that we could have caught the train right across the street, basically, the entire time we've been here? And he's like, yeah. Why does nobody tell us this stuff? So anyway, we ended up, that's how we ended up getting around. And that was way easier than taking the hotel shuttle out to the airport Silver Line or whatever that was, and then taking the Silver Line over to South Station. It's crazy to me that's the route that we were told to take when we first got there. Instead, it was like, no, just get in the airport, go walk over there to the airport terminal, and away you go. So anyhow, just one of those live and learn. It's like anything when you're in a town. You if you're in a town for an extended period of time, then about the time you're ready to leave, you you figure out how to get around town. But so some of the other stuff we did in Boston, we the Red Sox were not in town, but we went ahead and took the Fenway tour. I wholeheartedly recommend doing that. Absolutely, it was it was awesome. It was a lot of fun, kind of doing the behind the scenes and getting the tour. What are you doing? Oh, oops, sorry, guess I'm kind of in the way. Sorry, Kappa. But like I said, I definitely recommend. Why is the retarder? Oh, please don't hit the cop. Ooh, that was close. I saw that. I'm sure he did too. But yeah, and actually we got to Fenway a little sooner than we thought we were going to get there. But what that let us do was actually just kind of walk around. I think we made the whole, what they call made the block. We walked the street all the way out around the opposite direction of Fenway, and then you meet at the Red Sox fan store, and then that's where they take you across the street, and you get in this giant group. And our group was so big it actually had to have two different tour groups, but it was really fun, learning the history of Fenway. We also got to sit in the press box and hang out. You actually get to sit on the Green Monster, which is the giant wall that's in the outfield, and it was a lot of fun. That was very, very cool. And then as we some of the other touristy kind of things we did around Boston, we followed the Freedom Trail, which is actually a pretty cool thing in that not only is like the historical path of the route that different people took, but they have it laid out. Red bricks are in the sidewalk, and so you can actually just follow the red bricks and take the tour. So they have guided tours, especially, they got tours where people were dressed up in period costumes and that kind of stuff. But they also, it's laid out very nicely so that you can just take the tour yourself and just walk around, and you can pick up a map. I think we paid, I don't know, a couple of bucks for an area map that talked about some of the historical sites. And so we saw several burial grounds and several buildings of significance, and then ultimately made our way out and around to the Paul Revere House, which was, oh, that was so cool. Oh, look at this, man. Welcome to Bakersfield. That's a big old freaking sign. Obviously, it's been a while since I've played this, so man, that is so cool. But whoa, that's a little close. Well, like I said, we went to, and I know I'm going to say this wrong, but that Faneuil Hall, which now, at the time, was kind of the one of the central places for folks to gather, and that's how news was communicated out. You know, they'd have the barkers yelling out the news and what was happening and all that kind of stuff. And they would do that from that square. Now it's like a bunch of little shops inside the hall, and so it's kind of a touristy trap kind of thing, as most things. And of course, when we were in Boston, so we went to the Cheers bar to grab a bite to eat. So we had burgers and I think maybe some chicken strips or something at Cheers, which was very, very cool. I grew up watching, well, I say grew up, but I watched, you know, Cheers when it was on TV, and it was just neat to be in the same place where the show, you know, quote unquote, took place. That was cool. That was a lot of fun. That was neat. And again, we saw, you know, all kinds of other historic buildings where where the Declaration of Independence was read, where there was the Boston Massacre. Now, we did not get to see, like, we didn't go do the Boston Tea Party thing, and we didn't do a lot of the Boston Harbor stuff, and there were some other things that we didn't have time, and some of that, I mean, it's neat history, but it wasn't the consensus of our group was just kind of like, okay, yeah, I mean, that's neat, but we don't need to go see it unless we just want to go see it. But we had a lot of fun. So when that was all said and done, we you know, packed everything up and hopped on the plane, and then came back home. And so we after that, so when we got home, then I got to spend one night in my own bed, and then immediately had to get up the next day, and I went with my podcast co-host, and he's also a colleague of mine. We flew to Chicago for the what's called the ISTE conference, ISTE. That's the International Standards for Technology in Education. Look at the tumbleweeds cruising. That's cool. Probably not good to hit the tumbleweeds though, huh? Yeah, so we went to the conference, and one of the things that we do on the podcast, which is EduTech Guys, EduTechGuys, one of the things that we do with EduTech Guys is we provide live online coverage of various conferences. So we've been doing the FETC conference in Orlando now for a few years, and part of the reason why we went to the conference in Chicago was to get a feel for what that conference is like and make the connections in order to possibly provide that same coverage for them next year. Now, next year they'll be in Philadelphia. It moves around the United States. But we attended a pre-conference that was called the Badge Summit, and it was lots of folks who are heavily involved in the open badge movement. If you're not familiar with this, essentially badging is a way for people to earn what they call micro credentials. So if you're familiar with scouting and how scouts work, where you earn and you'll have to forgive me, I don't know what the different badges are, but like you might earn a campfire badge, and you might earn a rope tying badge, and you might earn a survival badge, and whatever else. This is exactly the same concept, but with skills and knowledge that you can demonstrate, and it's again with the open standards, it's the idea is to make it universally accepted, meaning that if I am micro-credentialed in, let's just say for the sake of argument, I'm micro-credentialed in Google Suite administration, G Suite administration, then the fact that I have earned that badge means that anyone who sees that as one of my badges, they understand exactly what I know or what I should know based on the fact that I earned that badge. So it's kind of like certification, but on a much smaller scale. So it's not like a full-blown certification, but it's like I know this one piece. Now, ultimately, if I earn enough pieces, then perhaps I actually earn a certification. But it was very interesting, especially because they had several students who were either upper high school or college students who were taking part in kind of almost like a pilot of, or at least version 1 of open standards and open badges. And they talked about how having those badges to go with the skills made it a whole lot easier when they were applying for jobs, and when they were talking, whoa, this lane ended. Thank you, sorry. Appreciate that. Didn't realize I was going to do that. But that some of the companies they had applied for and they interviewed with, they were also taking part in the, or had taken part in badging, and so they understood when that student said, I have these particular badges, that's exactly what it meant. And what's also cool is that the badges themselves can have metadata assigned to them, so that you can actually pull the data out of those and see an actual hard list of what skills were needed in order for that person to receive that badge. So that was a whole day in itself at the badge summit, and that was very cool. I hadn't been to anything like that before. Now Jeff, my co-host, he went to it last year, and so that's kind of how we got in this year. And I believe we'll be invited back. I hope we'll be invited back next year, and next year we'll actually do the live coverage from the badge summit. This time it was more of an acquaintance kind of thing, get a feel for it, kind of meet some of the folks, get an idea what it is behind the badging, and then next year actually provide coverage, which means sitting down and interviewing and talking with the different participants and presenters, keynote speakers, that kind of stuff. And so that was just that first kind of pre-conference day when we were in Chicago. And so the rest of the time we were there, one of the things that we did was we volunteered for the conference itself. So we manned an Ask Me station where people could come up and ask us questions about things. Where do I find the buses? Where is this particular room? How do I get to this particular conference center? That type of thing. And so we did that, and then we also volunteered for what they call ISTE Central. And ISTE Central is where people can buy books from featured authors. They can buy t-shirts and tote bags and that kind of stuff. And so I was tasked with giving out certain specific pamphlets of information about the ISTE standards for students, administrators, and teachers. So we did that for a while, and then we also visited with several of the folks that we knew from online or had been on our podcast and who were there. We also met with some folks that we had not actually met before, and were introduced by other people that we knew. And then at one point, we had, oh man, you crashed into me, dude. we had the opportunity to sit in on a very cool meeting with some folks from Amazon AWS, Amazon Education. There was I can't remember which department of the government he was with, but there was somebody there who was with cybersecurity, and then there are a couple other folks there, and part of the conversation that we had was talking about what AWS can do for classrooms. If you're not familiar with AWS, it's Amazon Web Services. That's kind of their cloud service that you essentially can rent space on their servers. There's a lot of websites, a lot of e-commerce that's hosted on Amazon to AWS, and they're trying to figure out how to communicate to schools ways that AWS can be used in education. And there was kind of a side conversation that went with that around Alexa in the classroom, and possibly things like the buttons. And you'll have to forgive me, I can't remember what the little buttons are called, but they have those. They have the little buttons that you can get where if you're out of toilet paper, you can push that button and it automatically orders toilet paper for you from Amazon. But we were talking about students and coding and computer science, and how students are already programming Alexa to do certain things, to respond to certain commands. They're also programming the buttons in order for those buttons to do certain things, and so when I push the button, I don't know, just as an example, I mean, you can completely program it to do what you want. So I could actually, if I wanted to, I could have it every time I push the button, it tweets out a particular tweet. I mean, I'm not exactly sure how applicable that is, but you get an idea of what I'm saying. Is that pushing the button doesn't have to just order toilet paper. It can be whatever you code it to be. And so there was a lot of discussion around that, around the programming languages themselves. And then since Jeff and I are in education, that was kind of our role, as far as I can tell, at these meetings, was that how did we see these types of things fitting into education, but at the same time we were providing insights into things that I don't think they realized, just like the whole Alexa in the classroom. The government security guy was a little wigged out about that because of student privacy and that type of thing. But here's the funny thing, the students are the ones who brought it in, or even if the teacher had it in there, like to play music or whatever, the students are taking the initiative to figure out what are all the different things they can do with it. They're not waiting for especially some government official to give them permission to do this. It's just, hey, it's here and we're going to play with it, and what can we do with this, and what can we make it do, and can we program Alexa so that if we say something in particular that it's going to complete certain tasks, what have you. I'm just saying, it's if you're waiting, if especially if the powers that be think that consumers who are educators are going to wait before incorporating these consumer devices into the classroom, they're already too late. It's already happening. And Jeff and I compared that to really what happened with Apple and iPads, right? iPads were a consumer device, and next thing you know, they're in classrooms all over the place, and Apple had to really retool itself for the education market, because iPads were being used for education in ways that at that point Apple had not even envisioned. And it's the exact same thing with Alexa, and frankly any technology. Yeah, sure, it's meant for the consumer, and that's where its strongest population of users exists, but it doesn't mean that's the only folks using it, or and it doesn't mean that people aren't going to find other ways to use that technology. Of course they are. That's exactly what's going to happen, and frankly that's exactly what is happening. So I don't know. It was a very interesting, sometimes surreal conversation to be having. And then we spent the rest of the time in Chicago at the when we were at the ISTE conference, um, talking with folks. We did a couple of interviews. We actually had there was actually a pretty decent number of folks from Arkansas that were at that conference in various capacities. One of the districts in Northwest Arkansas sent, I think they said like 15 or 20 of their teachers to the conference, which was very, very cool. The Arkansas computer science specialist had a couple of representatives at the conference. So as far as Arkansas being represented, woohoo, woohoo, you know, we had our fair share, that's for sure. So there we go. How long do I have? Still 10 hours in this thing. So spent a week in Chicago, and now I'm a huge fan of the city of Chicago. I absolutely love Chicago. I've been there now, oh my gosh, 5, 6 times maybe. And so that's that's always a lot of fun, and I enjoy that. And so that's one of the things that we did when we were there. We kind of went out and did a little bit of sightseeing, not too much because both of us had been to Chicago so many times, but we just kind of went out, walked around, hung out, ate a lot, of course. You know, anytime you're in somebody else's town, anytime you're away from your own town, you want to, at least I do anyway. I like to experience other foods, that type of stuff. So yeah, had a good time, had a lot of fun heading out to the East Coast, coming back, and then going into Chicago. So that was very, very cool. Whoops, my truck is acting a little weird here. Why am I all over the road? Sorry. Yeah, I'm slowing down. All right. So why are you beeping at me? Does that mean I'm engine braking? Is that what that is? I guess so. Yep. That's what it looks like. What it sounds like. Okay. That's cool. Oh my goodness! I can't believe we still have 589 miles to go before we get to our destination. I do need to, whoa. Okay, we're slowing down. Oh man, I hate when they do that. Nope, sorry. Come on, I gotta get back up to speed after slowing all the way down. I should really just stay in the right-hand lane here. I should not be in the left lane at all. Let's see if we can get over after this guy. There we go. You guys go around me. That'll be fine. So then, after I got back from Chicago, I get back to my regular daily job, which is being the tech guy for an education service agency. Look, check out the diner. That is so cool. Oh, that's cool. But part of that entails providing workshops for teachers. So, and the workshops that I do, I prefer doing my workshops in 3-hour stints. A lot of the workshops that we do are full day workshops, and I don't know. It's hard. It's hard for me to find topics that I want to teach that are going to take, all day to do so. You know what I'm saying? So I like to break things down. I'm like, okay, so I'm going to do a 3-hour session. So, for example, one of the sessions I did was I did a 3-hour session on teaching schools how to use social media for classrooms, but also for building level communication, for district level communication, and we cover different things like the difference between creating a page and creating a group. What are the different things you can do with each of those? Advantages, disadvantages, for lack of a better word, and different ways that you can use not just like Facebook, but Twitter and Instagram, and some schools are even using Snapchat. How do you leverage those in order to make sure that your school is telling the story that you want to be told? And so we did that. I did a different session. It was also a 3-hour session on podcasting in the classroom, and talking about different ways that teachers and administrators and students, for that matter, can use podcasting in the classroom as a way to reach out to whoever their particular audience happens to be. So, for example, if I'm a teacher, then I could use podcasting as a way to supplement my lessons that I'm doing in the classroom. And so I can put those out there, and students can listen to them if they miss the class or if they need some additional information. Likewise, I could put information out there for the parents, say, hey, here's what's going on, and or they may want to listen to the lesson that I'm doing so they have a feel for what their student is doing. We got the Popo. Popo got somebody pulled over. It looks like that's not good for them. You guys are in for a bad night, my friend. Yeah. And then maybe perhaps I'm an educator and I'm doing a podcast for other educators. So there's something I'm interested in that I want to share, and so I fire up a podcast and start talking to other educators about what we do, and so all kinds of different ways you can use podcasting in the classroom. And then of course you can get even way more creative than that as well, because I like one of the things that I like to talk about is having students do, say, a radio drama, because what's really cool about doing a radio drama with podcasting is not everybody in your class is going to want to be the people. They're not going to want to be the voice on the radio, right? You got some students that they're much more interested in, say, music, so you have them compose the music for the radio drama. Or maybe you have other folks, you have other students who are more interested in the writing side, and so they actually want to get into script writing, and they want to write what the radio drama is going to entail. And who knows, maybe you have someone who's a sound editor, and they want to work on either creating sounds or editing the podcast itself, taking all the different pieces and parts and making it into a coherent production. All kinds of different ways you can be involved with a program like that, still being able to demonstrate your content knowledge based on whatever the topic is or the subject matter is that the teacher has been going over. And you don't necessarily have to be the person in the recording as one of the main actors. You could be someone working on a different part of it and still demonstrate that knowledge. So that's just one of the examples of podcasting in the classroom. And my little dude's getting tired again, so I have to in fact, I think I'm way early. If I remember right, it's expected Friday from 12 to 6. So, and right now, I don't even know what time it is right now. Oh, it's Thursday at 2 in the morning. So I could definitely, when I find a place to rest here, I need to take a rest so I can, oh, come on, truck, driving me nuts. But anyway, I need to find a place that we can rest, and which is probably this exit here that this guy is blocking me from. Come on, dude. I don't know if I have no idea if there's a rest stop up here. I don't want to get too far off the path. I'll take my chance. Oh, I'm red now. I shouldn't have taken my chance. Boy, this is gonna cost me. This is gonna come back to bite me. Man, oh man. Well, it is what it is. We'll see if we can find a rest stop, and I'll take a break. Now that I'm tired, I'll be shutting my eyes before long. Yeah, I know it. I'm also running low on fuel. I need a gas station. Is there a gas station somewhere with a rest stop? That would be handy. So, oh my gosh. Anyhow, that's kind of what I've been up to in terms of kind of what's been going on in my, I guess, work life, for lack of a better description. In terms of what's been going on just in general with, say, the channel and that type of stuff. As I posted out the other day, my internet here is acting all kinds of weird, so I don't even know what day this video will end up getting posted, but you know, I'll put it up there, and whenever it gets uploaded, then I'll launch it into the wild. But I'm also I'm going to separate out some of the different things that I do. I think one of the problems that I have is that I like to do a whole lot of different things, and in my brain it makes sense to have all of that in one place, but in practice it's probably better if I try to separate that out for the specific audiences I'm trying to reach. So I'm creating a new YouTube channel, say specifically for my baseball card hobby habit that I have. Is there a place to rest up here? I just don't know. You know what? We're gonna try this and see. Can I do this? Oh yeah, there's a place right there. Okay, let's see. So I'm going up here, trying to get a feel for where I'm supposed to be going here. I turn left? Is that what this is telling me? I think so. All right. Yeah, there we go. All right, we got a rest stop up here, so let's... Oh, psh. Sorry. Forgot I had a big, long, nasty trailer attached to me. Forgot I was hauling 8 gazillion pounds of stuff. Alright, so let's get up in here and go to this rest stop here. I'm also, in addition to that, I'm also separating out like my Twitter accounts, so that there's going to be one that is primarily gaming, and then I'll have another one that is for, again, my baseball card stuff. Maybe I might end up having another one for some of the other stuff I do. I'm not real sure about that. Alright, so let's go up here into this rest area for starters. Wow, oh, okay. Cool. Alright, let's take a rest here. Alright, so now it's Thursday at 1:30. Yeah, see, I got plenty of time to get to where I need to go, but I have got to attempt to get some gas. I definitely need fuel, so let's see if we can pull into this one. Oh, please don't. I'll take out the sign, man. There we go. Alright. Whew, this is gonna cost me a pretty penny. I need a lot of gas. Come on. Up we go. Alright. There it is. So now, let's get rolling here. Let's pull this out around here. Oh, sorry there, Mr. Dodge Ram. See ya. We're going this way. Oh, I gotta make a big U-turn here. Oops. I don't mean to stop. Come on. Are you the same guy that just passed? Are you making loops? Is that what you're doing? Alright, well. You do you then, man. We are on our way. I'm on my way. From loneliness to happiness today. I'm on my way. Alright, off we go. Coming out of here. Cruise around here. Alright. So, as I'm recording this, earlier today, the day I'm recording this, I worked with teachers, and this was, I did an all-day workshop, and again, I'm not, I don't know, I don't do well, I don't do really well with all-day workshops, but this was an all-day workshop, and we looked at various really cool online interactive tools that teachers can use, so things like Nearpod and Padlet, and we used Flipgrid and all kinds of different online tools that teachers can use. I don't know, just to kind of change things up, you know, especially if you got someone who, if they're using freaking PowerPoint all the time. Oh my gosh, there's so many other ways you can disseminate the information rather than beating your kids to death with PowerPoint. So that's pretty much what we covered today. So there you go. I have no idea. Oh my gosh, we have such a long way to go. And of course, I apologize, I've been using the same view the entire time. You guys are probably like, man, you know, get out of the cab, dude. But I don't drive well when I'm in third person, which is funny because, like, I can only drive in BeamNG, not only, but I do my best driving in BeamNG in third person. But for some reason in this game, third person just freaks me out. I don't know what that is. I don't know what it is about driving a big rig that third person view is just crazy on me. But there you go. So that's kind of what's been happening with davidinark over the last few weeks, and I appreciate everybody providing feedback and let me know, you know, kind of what's been going on. I know some of you like to leave comments talking about what's been happening, what's been going on. I know a couple of you have had birthdays, and I apologize, I don't have the list in front of me, and I meant to. And but if you've had a birthday recently, happy birthday, or if you're watching this on your birthday, happy birthday. You got one coming up, happy birthday. That pretty much covers everybody, right? Had one, are having one, or about to have one, or going to have one. There you go. That's all of us. I'm assuming that if you're watching this video and you're listening to me, you've had a birthday. So there you go. That's my logic. That's how I think. Brilliant, right? That's why they pay me the big bucks. Okay, so they don't pay me the big bucks. That's anytime you hear anybody saying that expression, it's it's used very, very sarcastically. But you know, hey, there are other jobs that I could be doing, and I'm blessed to, for me in particular, not be doing them, and I am so thankful for the folks who do some of those jobs, because I don't know, I guess it's the way I was raised, maybe, or I don't know. It's one of my core beliefs that I don't care what job you do, from, you know, if you happen to be the custodian at a school, a teacher at a school, if you happen to be the superintendent, you know, if you're, whatever your position is, if you're, I don't care, man, if you're flipping burgers at the local fast food place, man, thank you for, you know, for hanging in there and doing your job, and I hope you enjoy doing your job. And then again, maybe you don't enjoy doing your job, so you watch YouTube and hang out with folks like me, and I appreciate that too. So, but there are lots and lots of jobs that have to be done, and so anytime, frankly, anybody is doing the job, I am all for it, and I appreciate it so much. And by the same token, just my way of thinking, and I will encourage you to adopt this way of thinking. But no matter what position you hold in your organization, try to never think anything is beneath you. There's a lot of people that get that way. I'm not gonna clean up that mess that somebody spilled on the floor. I'm the director of the organization, or I'm the CEO, or no, just grab a freaking mop and clean it up. It's not a big deal. I don't know. That's just the way I am. I don't care if I see something that needs to be done. Then, as best I can, I'm gonna help make sure that whatever it is gets done. And if it's one of those things where it becomes habitual, right? Like it's like I always have to do this particular thing because the person who's supposed to be doing it never does it. Okay, then that's a different situation. But a lot of times, folks just need a helping hand every now and then. They're overwhelmed with whatever they got going on, or I don't know. Sometimes we get scattered. We forgot to do this or forget to do that. If it's something simple and you have the facilities to do that particular thing, man, jump in there and just do it. Lend a helping hand. There's nothing wrong with that. And heck, for that matter, a lot of times, at least in my experience, I found that the person that I'm helping is super appreciative because they were overwhelmed, or they had forgotten it, or whatever it was. And so you help them out, and at some point maybe you'll be in a position where you need some help. They help you out. I don't know. That's my take on it. So, there's the popo. Rip, rip. You got pulled over. Not me, dude. See ya. So I hope that and I have no idea how old you are and where you are in life, but if where you are in life ultimately leads you to especially a position of leadership and or status, try to never forget what you had to go through to get there, and the jobs you had to do to get there, the things you've learned to get there, and if you can share that knowledge or help someone take care of some little task, or like I said, something needs to be mopped up off the floor, just mop it up off the floor. Who cares? Just do it. I don't know. Just think about that. But anyhow, didn't mean to get all preachy. I guess that's what happens when I am driving so long. Holy cow. This has really been a much longer trip than I thought it was going to be. But by the same token, I don't know. I've enjoyed talking to you guys, talking to you. You're watching, you're listening, and I appreciate it. I appreciate whether you've been with me the whole journey, or you're skipping through the video and trying to find particular tidbits of information, or just even just skipping through to see the different scenery or whatever. Thank you very much for watching. I appreciate it as always. I'm an old man gaming, so there's, so far as I've been able to tell anyway, there's not a lot of us that are around this age, around my age. As I'm recording this, I'm almost 50. So it's interesting to me that there's not a whole lot of folks around my age that are recording videos of any kind, whether it's gaming videos, or whether it's some other information, some skill they have, or something along those lines. Man, why not? Why not either share the experience, or if it's a tutorial type thing, man, share your knowledge, get it out there, share it with other folks. And I don't care how old you are, whether you're around my age or not, but where I was going with all that was, I think it's very interesting that there are people who are my age who grew up playing video games. We were there when the very first video games, especially, publicly, commercially available video games, first came out. So we've been playing video games for decades, man. Long, long time. I don't know. Why would you not want to, record your modern day experiences, or for that matter, heck, if you enjoy playing vintage games, then man, again, record that and throw that out there and show other folks, what you like to do and what you do and how you play. And I don't know. I have to say, once and I was on YouTube for a long time. I think my account was created in, I don't know, whenever YouTube started up, 2006, 2007. But I didn't know what to do with it. I didn't understand it. I didn't know, of course, and also at that time, in terms of gaming, I didn't have a PC. Oh, look at there. This is cool. TPs, man. Check that out. Awesome. Indian Arts and Crafts. I'm off the road, but that's cool. Okay. Please pull in. Oh, sorry. Guess it's because I was driving all over the place. I was checking out the scenery, man. But anyhow, oh, there we go. Okay. Anytime you get a chance to share with other folks, man, absolutely try to take that opportunity. And I just think it would be very cool if we had more folks who were my age or who are my age, recording themselves playing games and talking about the experience of what it was like gaming. In fact, that's what I need to do. I need to find some retro games and play them and just kind of walk through what it was like to play them originally and share some different memories and what have you. I don't know. I think that'd be kind of cool. Let me know. I want to know what you think of that. Put that down in the comment section and see what you think. Come on. 162,000 pounds. Oh my gosh. Woof. This is a heavy load. And I think the speed limit's 15, so I gotta watch that. Gallup, New Mexico. I've actually been to Gallup. I may have talked about that in another video, but a couple of years ago, my family drove west. We drove out to California by way of, I think we went out I-40 and Route 66, and that was a lot of fun. It was a very long and sometimes grueling road trip, but ultimately, I mean, it was awesome. It was a lot of fun. I wouldn't trade, well, frankly, I wouldn't trade any of my vacations for anything, even the ones that were a little rough around the edges. We went to New Orleans back before Katrina, back before, before a lot of changes in New Orleans, and it was a nasty dump of a place, and just not the best experience we had in terms of a vacation. But I still wouldn't trade it. It was still the experience. And of course, anytime, well, at least for me anyway, anytime you have a chance to spend time with family, hanging out, in a city that you don't normally go to, or maybe it's a city you'll never go to again. I don't know. I think it's cool. It's a lot of fun. And it's something that our family vacations are something that we purposely set out to, we purposely set money aside in order to take these vacations each year. And so it's a lot of fun. What the heck is that up there? What is that up there? Why is there a... Wait a minute. Yeah, I know. You people are going to honk at me. What? Why is that up there? What is that? That's very interesting. Okay, well. Off we go. Yeah, I know my break. Okay, come on. There you go. Flying raccoon and Native American jewelry. Exit now. I can remember when I was growing up, I was probably, I want to say I was probably around 10 or 11, and I could have that, I could be off a little bit, but I want to say it was somewhere around there. My dad actually worked for the government. He worked for the, what was called, at that time called the Bureau of Mines. I don't know what it's called these days. But he had to go around to different places, and like if there were sinkholes and or there were different mining related issues, he was part of the investigative team that kind of went out and looked at those types of things and evaluated them. And then he also did a lot of training in terms of government procurement. So if you have a company and you wanted to work with the government, then he would help you navigate through the rules and regulations and all that kind of stuff. And I can remember that he would go out to these different places, and like New Mexico and Arizona, and he would go to these different they would have to go to these different Native American reservations because there was mining going on, and or like the sinkhole would suddenly open up. That is so cool. Look at that. That's awesome. A sinkhole would open up or what have you, and so they would have to go investigate, and he would come back with all of this Native American jewelry, because you could buy it way super cheap directly from the Native Americans on the reservation versus buying them in a boutique or something, in some little town somewhere. And but I can remember him coming home and he'd have all this jewelry for my mom, and I don't know, especially turquoise. He loved Native American turquoise jewelry, and in fact I think we still have some somewhere around here. Maybe if I can find it, I'll do a video on it or something. I don't know. It has nothing to do with gaming at all. I don't know. I probably won't do a video on that, but just seeing those signs reminded me. It was very cool. Well, we're about just under 3 hours game time away from finally getting to our destination. And once again, thank you guys so much for coming along, sharing the journey, and listening to me ramble about family vacations and teacher workshops and all that kind of stuff. I appreciate it a lot, though. I really do. And like I said, whether you've watched the whole thing or you've just kind of skipped through and you just happen to land your needle right here on this particular part of the record, thank you. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. And since I've got you here, if you've got any questions, problems, suggestions, you can always feel free to leave those down in the comment section below. And I do read all the comments, and I try real hard to respond to all the comments. I know sometimes it's a week or so before I'm able to take the time to sit down and respond, but I really do try to respond to each of the comments. So I like to hear what you guys have to say, any questions you have. I would like to, speaking of, I would really love to start a, not necessarily a reading your comments, but I'm sure that would be part of it, but like a Q&A video series, maybe, I don't know, once every couple of weeks or once a month, where I pull comments and questions from different videos and then read those on the air and answer those. I don't know, I think that'd be kind of cool. You can let me know what you think about me. What do you think about starting something like that up? You have to forgive me, I'm kind of stuttering and losing my trains of thought, because it's pretty late as I'm recording this. I like I said, I was not anticipating this taking as long as it has, but we're gonna finish it out, man. We're gonna tough it out. We're gonna get to the end. We're gonna park this bad boy where it needs to be parked and just see how much money we're still able to earn despite the fact that I have already had a crash. Besides that, we are hoofing, man. Give me a speeding ticket. I don't really care at this point. Look there. 3 lanes on each side. That's what I'm talking about. It's a cool little bridge. Is that for a train, I'm guessing? Oh yeah, like in the river. See that? Oh, sort of see the river. 12th Street. Big rig parking, this exit. Whoosh. Can you actually hit the sign? That would be cool. Does the camera go around it? Oh, well, sort of. It kind of flies right through you. That is so cool. Awesome stuff, man. I really do like this game a whole lot. It's so cool. I hope I'm not turning off anytime soon, because that would be a bummer. Oh, I'm turning off. We're turning off here, it looks like. Yep, and I'm going this way. Oh, I should not be taking that curve that fast. Holy cow, man. We're gonna kill somebody. Woof. That was spooky. Alright, now am I getting off here? No, obviously not, because it's blocked. Okay. Oh, wow. That was not the best of driving. Just gonna throw that out there. Anybody coming down the pike here? Oh, we're just cruising. Look at that. I have no idea where we are, but man. Especially out this way. Look how pretty that is. I like the lighted buildings, the sunset. Oh, that is so cool. The big old vehicle we're hauling, man. Yeah. Oh, I didn't realize I had the oversized load. Check that out. That's cool, man. That's all the stuff you miss when you're stuck inside the cab. Oh, I don't think I'm actually getting off here. I'm in the wrong line. All right, 37 miles to go. We'll be able to set this trailer down and call it an evening. South Socorro. I have no idea where I am. Could pull up the map, I know, but nah, it's all good. It's good. The Rio Grande. Look at that. The Rio Grande. Now that's, oh, okay. Checking out the Rio Grande as we slam ourselves into a guardrail. That was awesome, man. Oh, that was cool. I'm glad I managed to catch that in all of my randomness looking around. Alright, are we getting off here? We only got 13 miles. I gotta be getting off soon. Guess maybe not. Let's see. Oh, yep. Yes, we are. Look at there. See, I knew it. Exit 150. Oh, yeah, we're coming up close. Oh, wait. No, I'm not doing this. Okay. Alright. I'll figure it out eventually what's happening. Yeah, we just discovered Socorro. Nice. Hey guys, how's it going? City limits. Alright. And I'm sure I'm supposed to be going. No, it says 55. Oh, now 35. Okay. Oh, look at there. Why are we taking this to a... Are we taking this? I'm not taking this to Walbert. No, okay. I was like, why would we be taking this to Walbert? Oh, I got the green light. It won't stay that way by the time I get here. Sorry, hey, I'm going. You can give me a ticket if you want to, man. I'm out of here. What is that? Tidbit? I don't know tidbit. Oh, we are pulling into the place where we need to drop off our big old heavy load. And then we can call it a night. Which is a good thing because my driver's getting sleepy. Got a half a tank of gas. Alright, we're going to have to make a wide turn. And then I think we're actually going to have to immediately turn back. What the heck? Holy cow, how am I supposed to do this? Oh, this is not going to be pretty. So the question now is... Oh, I can't do this? Huh, wonder why I can't do that one. Oh, we're at the rail export. That's cool. Wonder why I can't do this one. That's interesting. Alright, well, I guess I could do a where should I place it? Should I do that one? Let's see, that's going to make me go up here and turn and go straight in. I'll tell you what, let's just do that. Why not? That's right there. How hard could this be, right? Sure. This is... I'm going to get my butt handed to me, aren't I? Come on. Let's aim up a little bit over this way. Try not to break stuff. That would be handy. Alright, theoretically, I should be pretty well... Oh, no, see? My trailer's not going to be straightened out by the time I get here, I don't think. Alright, I can't... Oh, yes, I can. No. Oh, well, not in the right place yet either. Oh, come on. Oh, man, really? You're kidding me. Nope. Okay. Let's see, it's been a long time since I've messed with this. Whoop, 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 whoa, whoa, whoa. What do I got going here? Do I have an extended... Oh, I didn't realize I had two parts. Oh, my. Okay, I have no idea how you drive this bad boy. I'm going to be in a lot of trouble. I don't know how that works at all. Oh my, okay. So how... Okay, I think my best bet's going to be to attempt to back this as straight back as I can. Oh, I'm losing it. Holy cow, how do you do this? Oh my gosh, this is the craziest trailer combination I've ever seen. Okay, I'm just trying to go straight backwards. Can I not just go straight back? No. No. That's my bad. I'm doing that. Okay. Alright, I'm getting the hang of this, sort of. No. Come on. Ah. I know, you're not liking it. Yeah, I should probably skip the parking. Yeah, you know what? We're just gonna take it. I don't care. We'll take it. I'm so tired. Okay. Well, we didn't lose any money. Look at there. Very cool. Awesome. Ended up with $95,000 and 2,500 XP points. Man, look at us. We jumped a ton right there. Excellent stuff. Santa Cruz to Socorro, 1,121 miles. Took 44 in-game hours. Holy smokes. Well, there you go. That is American Truck Simulator. Thank you guys so much for watching, for hanging out, taking the drive with us. Questions, problems, suggestions, horror stories, put those down in the comment section below. And we'll see you next time on American Truck Simulator.